Welcome back to Walker County Media Day here on WJLX 1015 live at Los Reyes. We apologize for some technical difficulties, but the great Jonathan Timmons has got us ready to go, and we are back with Carbon Hill Bulldogs. I'd like to reintroduce, if you've been listening on the radio, head coach DJ Emerson. Coach, will you please introduce your players you brought with you today?
Yeah, I've senior quarterback, wide receiver, defensive back Marcus Pierce, senior offensive defensive lineman Jordan Kilgore. Excited about these two, but we have a big group of senior guys, 13, that's really been with me the whole time, and they're back there, and I'm going to introduce them at the end. But any year you have a tough time narrowing it down to two. I think that's some quality leadership in the offseason, so excited to recognize these guys today.
We are happy to have you here. Thank you for joining us at Los Reyes. We are now going to open up to our panel for a few questions for you.
Coach, big fan of what you do. Known you for a long time and know the type of person you are. Tell us about your staff that you have that's behind you as well to kind of help push your philosophy and image for the program.
Quality staff. We're still wanting to grow in numbers. I'd like to add a few more guys. But it starts with Coach Tuggle, Coach Jarrett Tuggle. He's our assistant head coach, our defense coordinator. He's been with me in the trenches since day one. Coached him at Jasper my time there, so I had a long relationship with him. And early on in the process, I said, if you're going to do this, I'm going to expect a lot out of you and lean on you pretty heavily. I don't really know if he wants to be a head coach, but I think he's prepared to be one, if that's what he wants to do, because I believe I've kind of helped him grow and mold him into that. But excited about him and about his growth and about his year 3 of the defense and just what he brings to the table. But here with us is Coach Brandon Phillips. He coaches our running backs and does a lot with our stats and tendencies on Friday nights and keeps us on track with that. I call him our football operations manager, but he handles a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff for us that helps the program run efficiently and smoothly, and can't say enough about what he does. Coach Jamie Lawler is our offensive line and defensive line coach. He's been there, long-time coach, a lot of knowledge, drives our bus for us, so wears a lot of hats as well. Coach Joey Lee is going to help with offensive line and help me with linebackers. I'm going to actually coach I always coach quarterbacks, but I'm going to coach a defensive side of the ball this year, another position. So like I said earlier, anytime your head coach is a position coach on both sides of the ball, I feel like you need to add more to your staff. But excited about our middle school staff. This is the first time since I've been at Carbon Hill we've had a specific middle school staff. That starts with head coach Jason Tittle, his son Clay Tittle. Clay was a phenomenal player at Carbon Hill, just recently graduated from the University of West Alabama and interned with their program and did a lot of different jobs with them as far as coaching and just running a program, and excited about his new ideas and knowledge he's going to bring to us. And then Coach Larry Kilgore is going to coach our offensive and defensive line and be our defense coordinator with that middle school staff. He's been with a bunch of Toy Bowl programs in the past, and just excited about getting him on board and bringing that middle school program, because that is our future, athletes and our future Bulldogs, and just getting them on the right track.
Okay, and for the players, it's getting close for kickoff time. You got that first game against Curry. Tell us about your feelings going into it.
Yeah, we're eager. We've been counting down the days every day at workouts. We're a day closer. A lot of the guys remind each other it's getting crunch time, and we're ready.
We're all ready for it, but we got to remember not just Curry. We got 4 games too. That's what I feel like last year, and like we just focused on Curry. The other 9 games, I don't really know, but we're going to get after this season.
Absolutely. And you guys have got a great coach. I know he teaches you a lot on the field and off the field. What is something that you have learned from Coach Emerson?
Discipline. Every day, 110%. That's what he asks. I always try to give it.
He's taught us a lot. There's too much to say, but the biggest thing is don't quit. You have a bad day, you got to keep going through it.
Awesome.
Coach, even though Fayette County left the region, still, you got 3, the triple crown is what I'm calling it, of 3A, which is Winfield, Gordo, and Midfield, that are all tough challengers, all battling for playoff spot. Whoever earns a playoff spot in your region has definitely got it and going to be really paving the way for something special. What's it going to take this year for Carbon Hill to achieve getting that playoff spot?
It's something I test too, kind of in the off season. We got to do a better job of pushing ourselves at practice to make the games a little bit easier. I tell them all the time, the best athletes push themselves in practice. And a phrase I've kind of used in the offseason is empty the tank, whether that's a workout, conditioning, whatever we're doing. When it's over, you should need a minute to gather yourself a little bit. You shouldn't be able to run, go cut up, or go chase somebody, or run in your car and run to the water park, whatever. You need to learn to empty the tank, and we need to, attack each day with emphasis and priority. And like he attested to, we can't waste a day. I told him in the offseason, I said, guys, you're going to blink, and it's going to be August 22nd, and we're going to be traveling over, getting on a bus, going to Curry before you even realize it. And so make every rep, every day, everything we ask, make it count. Get something out of it. Don't be here just to be here. It's going to take that every day, day in and day out. And I'm not going to lie, with our low numbers, it's going to take a little luck. We're going to have to stay healthy. With low numbers, and I listened to Coach Painter earlier, you have one injury at a program like ours where numbers are low, it's a significant domino effect. It's not just plug and play. Like, if our right tackle goes out, our right guard may be the best person to put at right tackle. So then we're putting a new person at right guard. Well, that may be another guy that's played another position, and then it's just a big domino effect, and especially on special teams. And so just weathering those storms and, praying to God that we don't have those injuries, and just moving one day at a time, and being more competitive in everything that we do, I think will transfer to the field, and then transfer to those one game at a time, those one victories at a time. And, it takes winning some games against those region opponents to make the playoffs, and that's what we're going to have to do.
Coach, you mentioned numbers. How hard is it with the region schedule I have to stay healthy with the Winfield and Gordo?
I can't remember the phrase Coach Painter phrased it, but it's tough. It's tough. Those guys are physical. I'm trying to make practices harder, so we're banging on ourselves all throughout the week in practice, and then you get banged on even more on Friday night. This recovering and the steps you take with your body, but it's tough. I think it takes a little luck. You just got to be on the right side of the coin a few times, and just do the best you can to. As a staff, we have to evaluate after those games and see what these guys, they're a little banged up. We might have to take the brakes off, or take the gas off a little bit this week at practice, but do a good job of being smart, of taking care of them, but also trying to improve from weekend and correcting those mistakes that we had from the previous Friday night.
Okay, one win last year. What would you say the next step forward is?
Win more. We got to win more. We haven't won the amount of games that I set forth when I took the job, when I envisioned, and it's not been the best. I'll just say that. I'll own it, and there's no way to hide from that. But just not necessarily win, just be more competitive. Those games. I tell those guys, just give us a chance in the fourth quarter. Let's let the game still. We don't know whether it's going to be a win or a loss in those fourth quarter, and just get a chance and then see what happens. If we got a chance in the fourth quarter, with the way we have attacked the weight room and our conditioning. I like our chances, and we'll see what happens.
Guys, this question's for you too. You've been working hard this summer, putting in a lot of hours in the heat. How have you seen yourselves and your teammates kind of grow and come together as a team over this offseason?
Everybody's working hard, but, for example, we got done with workouts yesterday, and Tater took his shirt off and wrung the sweat out of it, and it could have filled up a glass. So, he's working hard. Everybody is.
Yeah, I noticed this a couple weeks ago. Coach actually said this is the best June he has ever had coaching, and that's some motivation right there. Like every day, whether it's conditioning, working out, 7-on-7 conditioning, we're doing amazing, and I just can't wait for this new season.
Coach,
the job's not finished.
That's some high praise. Can you tell us what you kind of meant by that, by the best June you've had?
Well, it's the attendance. Like I said, we ain't got a lot, but our 30-something guys. I know where they're at or they're there. Just their accountability. I said in the offseason that we've got to change where the players care more about the results and the direction of the program than the coaches. And they are making that step in that direction, because at the end of the day, if us as coaches and adults care more than them, it's really not going to matter, because they're the livelihood of our program. They're our program. All the losses are my fault, and all the wins are their fault. And I'm a true believer of that. And just their ownership and just commitment. I think they care more. I think they've created more ownership, and I'm just proud of that.
That's an excellent answer. Now, Coach, I know you've got some more guys you'd like to bring out to introduce.
Yeah, you know, like I said earlier, anytime you have tough time choosing two guys, so I just wanted to recognize these guys. We have senior offensive defensive lineman Hunter Taylor, senior wide receiver DB Easton Blackwell, senior tight end linebacker Logan Young, and senior offensive defensive lineman Parker Wright. And then we have, you know, like I said, 13 seniors that could be willing to be up here, but these guys have been with us and just excited about their leadership and growth and you know, hopefully their successes as the season goes on. But I just want to thank you guys for everything you do for high school athletics, what you do for our county, how you put these guys on a spotlight in all sports and all things that we do in the school. I think it's amazing, and any way we can recognize their accomplishments, I'm all for it, and just appreciate you guys having us.
Well, Coach, gentlemen, we appreciate y'all for coming out and for joining us here at Los Reyes. We wish you the best of luck on the season, and guys, good luck this year.
Thank you. Go Bulldogs.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us. We're going to take a short break now, throw it back to the station. really enjoyed hearing from the players. I thought they gave some great answers, especially when we asked them about the summer and taking their shirts off, just wringing out sweat to fill up a cup with it.
That was gross.
Yeah, it was. It was, but they've been putting in some work, and I'm excited to see that product on the field. Well, we are going to take another quick break. When we come back, we are going to introduce the Summerton Christian Eagles with head coach Jarius Williams right here, WJLX 101.5 Walker County Media Days, live from Los Reyes.
This is going to be for all of them, all of you. The first question: what is the biggest change that you've noticed from this time last season, from right about this point to right now?
Well, my biggest change to me is our mindset. You get what I'm saying? Our mindset, developing mental toughness. You know, and we got a thing that we do that we've been doing this summer. It's called mindset training. So just training the mind, man, just letting us know that we have to endure the pain. You know, we have to endure the pain, and once we feel that pain, you know, we could push past it. We could push past it, and I think that's what we had a problem with last year. You know, we felt a little pain, and we just didn't know how to adjust to it. You know, but this year it was more so. This year is more so focused on pushing through, persevering.
This year we did more as one. We're all locked in together in the weight room and on the field. Last year, I didn't really see a connection, but this year I see a true bond with this team.
Awesome.
This time last year, I definitely think that we've made leaps and bounds difference, and we've came together as a team. We have worked hard in the weight room every day, pushing through all obstacles. As Coach said, our mindset training has helped a lot, definitely in the weight room.
Coach, it's obvious developing leaders is a paramount part in your program. Talk about what you look for when you develop the leaders, not only on your team, that you bring, but also the seniors, everyone, and within your program?
What I look for when developing a leader is really and truly someone that could withstand pain, like I said, withstand pain and persevere and help rally guys around them to persevere as well. Being vocal, being on time, just focusing on the little things, the little things that make champions.
Coach, I've been real impressed from year one to now and just seeing the steps that the program has taken and just really admired what you're doing over at Summerton Christian. Tell us about the staff that you have that's helping you put that vision out there.
So thankful for our staff. We have a great coaching staff with a lot of experience, with a lot of football experience, with a lot of football knowledge, man. And we really wouldn't be what we are today if it wasn't for those guys, man. And I so appreciate them so much. We brought on a new guy, offensive coordinator, Mike Creer. He was a Jasper standout, and man, he's so knowledgeable. And we also brought on an offensive line coach that's so knowledgeable, and Steven Size, man. And they're gonna help out a ton.
So guys, you got Friday nights. It's getting close. You guys start off by playing Victory Christian. What's the mindset for you guys going into that game?
I think the mindset is we got to tackle. Last year we had troubles with tackling and defense, and this year we have a really good defensive coordinator, and I think we're ready to tackle that game.
I think our main thing is we got to stop their run. They have a great run offense. They barely pass the ball if do much. Their quarterback is pretty strong. We got to put our head on them and get out there, get loose.
So we heard Coach Williams, we talked about mindset training, and knowing Coach Williams and the person that he is on and off the field, what's something that you guys have taken from him that you can apply to your lives?
Man, Coach Williams, he's a great guy. He great man of the Lord, teaches us every single day to love the Lord, love your neighbors, and love yourself.
Everything that Reed said right there, but I want to add one thing. Just the way he always has an answer for everything. No matter what you ask him, he always gives you something. No matter if you don't have the answer, then he'll go look it up, find it for you, and he'll get back to you.
Coach, you and your staff have done a great job in the weight room. I see your videos all the time, and I know y'all take a lot of pride in the weight room. And you recently just kind of upgraded the weight room there at Summerton Christian. Can you talk a little bit about that and the upgrades that were made?
It's been a blessing, man. We could think about, the past, but at the same time, man, like just those small victories like that, upgrading the weight room, getting the kids excited, man, it's been a blessing. It's been a big blessing, and we've been working real hard in that thing, too.
Absolutely. Well, guys, I can tell the improvement from the last time I seen y'all. Y'all got some guns now as opposed to before. What are those hot days in the summer like, and is it more fun, more work, or a good healthy mix of both?
And it's hard, but we have all got a good mindset, and we push through, and we trust Coach Williams with what he puts on us, and we just go out there and do it.
We definitely trust Coach Williams with everything that he puts on us. We know if we trust him, just looking at all the other athletes he has trained, he'll get us to wherever we want to go and whatever we want to do, not just in football but in life. But I think it's a good, healthy mixture of both. And love the work, man. Love the work.
Coach, just talk about your expectations coming into the season, what you expect of this team, and then mention a few of the guys that we should be looking for to make some big plays on the field.
As far as expectations, of course, just taking it one day at a time, getting 1% better each and every day, not looking too far ahead, but being in the present, and knowing and doing our jobs, doing our jobs. As far as the guys that we could look for on Friday nights, you got Reed Cornelius and Connor Drummond. We also have some young guys that's coming up that's going to help us out a lot as well.
Well, guys, I know that you've seen some turnover in the coaching staff, and now you have been blessed to have Coach Williams with you for 2 years, and he's doing a great job with you. What are some things that you have seen him and his staff do that just really take things to the next standard there at Summerton Christian?
Well, I think Coach Williams, he has a game plan for every single thing we do. Like he said, take it one day at a time. We have a routine for every single thing in the weight room, on the field, even in our diets and hydration. He knows everything that he does. He knows a lot.
First of all, I like to thank Coach Williams. He always puts the Lord first in everything that he does. He'll never lead us astray. But one of the biggest deals, we don't just focus on the plays and defense and stuff like that. We focus on our mind, our diet, and stuff like that. The other little things that other teams might not be focusing on.
Coach, obviously injuries at any level is tough to deal with, but at 1A level, when you have a basically almost a handful of players, what do you do to help injury prevention that you teach your players?
Just like they said, man, it's all about nutrition and it's all about taking care of your bodies. So just teaching those guys how to take care of their bodies and of course, train your bodies, put your body through stress. That way, once you hit the field, you're able to prevent injuries, but not so much of take them away because accidents happen, But at the same time, man, just nutrition, working out, just the simple things that we need to buy into on a day-to-day basis, not just football players, but all of us,
Coach, who are some players that you have seen over the past 2 years really develop, whether that be on the field, in the weight room, in the classroom? Are there any that you can think off the top of your head?
In a way, well, just to be honest with you, man, my mindset is to create them all into leaders. We all have a special part. I don't want any one of us to be a follower. I want us all to step up and lead. Even if you're a senior or a seventh grader. We had a seventh grader step up and start leading this year. So just knowing that everyone on our team matter, it's important to me.
Great answer. And guys, you have kind of walked into that leadership role now as you have matured. How have you seen yourself kind of mature as a leader, and who are some of the guys, older players that maybe you looked up to that have now left the program?
Well, I know my sophomore year, we had a lineman. His name is Jack Adderholt. He was a great leader on the O-line, and I really followed his footsteps, and I think that he turned me into the player I am today to lead the younger O-line group that we have this upcoming year.
Some of the ways I feel like I've progressed as a leader is just not overthinking everything, always having an answer to the younger players if they ask me anything. And one of the players I always looked up to is Caden Parrish. He's a friend on and off the field. He recently graduated last year, and we miss him, but he's helped me in all ways of life.
All right, last question for you, Coach. As we are heading toward week one, we are getting closer and closer. What are some things that you are really looking to clean up and make sure you guys are most prepared for?
We got to be able to tackle. And do your job, man. You just got to do your job. If we all doing our job on one accord, like football is an in-sync sport. So if one person mess up a play, then the play is blown. So just doing your job, focus on your responsibility, and man, we'll be great. Just taking it one play at a time.
Great answers all around from you, Coach, and your players. Great. Good luck on the season. I know it's going to be a great year for you all. And thank you for coming to join us here at Los Reyes for Walker County Media Day.
Hey, thank you guys, man. You guys have a blessed one.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we will introduce our next team. Thank you guys for joining us here on WJLX 1015, Walker County Media Day. Welcome back to Walker County Media Day here at Los Reyes on WJLX 1015. Come by, hang out with us. The show is coming to an end, but we still got a good little bit of time. Come see us, grab some food, meet some of the players and coaches. We just got the opportunity to talk to Sumner Christian and Coach Williams there, and talked a little bit about their upgrades to the field house, the weight room, and what they can expect from the season. Anything stand out to you guys from that interview?
Well, I think definitely the focus on strength and conditioning, that's going to be a big difference. And, you know, they're playing in 1A ball. One or two players can really make a difference in Class
Absolutely.
1A. And so I think Summerton's definitely on the rise. It's going to be interesting to see what they can do this season.
Yeah, and they're going to be really in a proving ground for that because, as we've been mentioning, you're just, especially in 1A ball, you're just one or two injuries away from potentially being a 8-2 team to all of a sudden you're a 2-8 team. That's the way that it can go in 1A ball. So that conditioning, that injury prevention is going to be a real big key for the Summoning Christian.
And that strength and conditioning is Coach Williams and his staff's biggest strength. He's a personal trainer. That's his other gig, and he knows how to get people in shape. And you can tell it in the way, if you follow his Facebook, you see all the videos he's posting of his players. They are working hard this summer, and that's exciting stuff to see. But look at their schedule really quickly. I'll burn through some of these, and we can talk about a few at a time. They're going to open up away the first two games, Victory Christian followed by Bell Green, before they come home for their first region game against Pickens County.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're tornadoes for a reason.
That's right.
Yeah, Pickens County always going to be good. That's going to be a tough one. But, you know, the first two teams on the schedule, I don't know a lot about them. Typically when Summerton Christian is playing another school that's a Christian private school, they do pretty well in their own classification. So, I mean, I would not be surprised if they're 1-1, 2-0 going into that Pickens County game.
Victory Christian historically has been very similar to Summerton Christian. Beautiful small school there, good drive away. So it'll be a good little drive to open the season. Next three on the schedule are three region games away at Brilliant before they come back home for Lynn and South Lamar.
Brilliant, if they do not receive too many injuries against Pickens County, this could be the first region win for Summoning Christian in quite a while.
Yeah, I think that Brilliant game is definitely one to circle right now early in the season. That would be an important one to tell us where they are and where the season could go.
Absolutely. As far as the season going physically after that, the next three games are also region games. At home, South Lamar. On the road, Berry. And back at home for Marion County.
Yeah, and one of those games we failed to mention, Lynn Bears. They're in a transition year. Mark Hastings left from Lynn, went to Addison, and you're going to have Lynn coming in, brand new coach and Steve Cagle. That's going to be a challenge.
Absolutely.
Well, Berry and Marion County are both, perennial playoff teams. They don't typically set the world on fire, but they are good programs that will be a tough task for Summerton.
Absolutely. And the final two games, on October 24th, we have the final home game, also a region game against Hubbardville, the last region game of the season. And to close the year, they will travel on Halloween to Holy Spirit.
And what we'll say right now is this: if Summoning Christian can keep cohesive and relatively injury-free, that's a game that they should definitely close the season with a win with.
I would think it's got to be tough to defeat the Holy Spirit on Halloween.
Yeah, maybe so.
That's just my take.
Holy Spirit, one of those schools, very small, like Summerton Christian, actually had to shut down their football program for a year or two, about 10 years back or so. Was able to make a little bit of a comeback and played Summerton Christian last year and beat Summerton Christian in a very, very close game from memory. So I'm sure Summerton Christian will be looking for revenge in that one. But exciting stuff on the way for the Eagles. Up next, we're going to be talking to the Curry Yellow Jackets, and we'll get into their season after the next break here on WJLX 1015, Walker County Media Days, live from Los Reyes. Yellow Jackets, starting with head coach Jace Cordell. Coach, could you introduce your 2 players you brought with you today?
Yeah, this is J.D. Sickles, and on the end down here is Nathan Velasquez, both seniors for.
Thank you guys for joining us here at Los Reyes. We are now going to open it up to our panel for some questions.
All right, Coach, program's going in the right direction. We see a lot of improvements and stuff that's happened over the past year. My question for you is, tell us about your coaching staff that you have behind you, because behind every good coach, you got a good staff that helps push that vision into the program.
All right. Well, we've got a good staff this year. They're all kind of spread out. They're not all at the high school with me. We've got Coach Milliken, Coach Brandon Milliken, who's our offensive coordinator, and he's working at Lupton right now and coming over in the evenings and stuff once school starts and doing that. Coach Brad Duncan, he's going to be our defensive coordinator, and he's at the middle school. So, and we've got Coach Quentin McCarty. He's going to be our strength and conditioning coach. He's at the high school with us, and we just hired a new basketball coach that's going to help. Coach Jeff Daniel, he'll be helping out with our junior high bunch, and we've got Josh Taylor, who's also at the middle school. He's been a big asset for me the last 2 years, and I expect him to really come on and continue to develop as a coach.
Okay, my next question here for the players is, it's getting close to kickoff. You got that first game coming up. What's your mindset and what's your thoughts and excitement about it?
I'm really excited, but I'm just trying to stay focused, playing the game out in my head, and just being locked in at every practice, workout.
Yeah, we still have more work to do, but we're still all locked in, and I think this year we've worked harder than really I think every year, any year that I've been a part of, and I think that we're definitely more locked in on the right thing instead of focusing off on the wrong thing.
Okay, and knowing with your coach, I know that he likes to instill a lot of things for life off of the field. What are some lessons that you've learned from Coach Cordell that you applied to your everyday life and also into your academics?
Grow closer to God.
Toughness, discipline, being respectful, and being closer to God.
All right.
There was an answer you gave that I loved. You said you were playing the games out in your head, which I think it says a lot about you as a player, your focus, your goals. Now that it's your senior year for both of you, it's kind of all been built to this. Are you starting to feel that pressure, or does it just feel like another day in the building?
The pressure, it's there, but I try to ignore it, because if I feel the pressure too much, I'm just not going to be focused, and I'm not going to do anything right. I'm just going to be worried about worrying about it too much. So I try not to let it bother me, but it's there, and I try to brush it off most of the time.
Same thing, really. If we show pressure, I feel like that, because the young kids look up to us, and if we show pressure, they're going to get pressured, and we're all going to be worried. So as us seniors, we got to look up, and we got to stay positive, full steam ahead.
Coach, it seems like you've done a great job preparing these guys, and I'm sure the rest of your players for the season. I mean, they seem locked in, like they are ready for the year. How have you watched these guys and maybe some of your other players just progress and grow over time?
Well, over the last 2 years, the growth of, especially these two guys right here has been nothing shy of amazing to watch. JD's been here. He's been here every day from day one, and, just always eager to get better. Every time the doors are open, he's there. He's first one there, last one to leave mentality guy, and, he's really started stepping up as a leader for these younger guys and the older guys as well, and I'm really proud of him for that. From the first day I met him till now, I'd say he's made a 180 turnaround. He may not really like that, but he has, and I'm proud of him for it. And Nathan, he's done a great job for us. he's been one of the strongest guys on the team since I got here. You know, we've had some bumps in the road along the way, but you know, he's a very charismatic guy, just a natural leader. People just kind of gravitate towards him, and you know, over the last 2 years, we've tried to harness, you know, which direction and the best way for him to use that just natural leadership ability. And I think he's responded really well this year. This summer, he's been here. You know, he's a worker. He works all the time. I'm talking about jobs, and still finds a way to get to the workouts and do a good job when he's there.
Absolutely, and great answer there. And I could tell just by what you said that you're proud of these young men, that you've watched them and helped them come a long way. I'd like to ask, now that we are a third of the way through July, you know, over halfway through the summer, week 1 is coming up. What are some things you're looking to clean up maybe in these last few weeks before the first game of the season?
Well, there's a lot of fine tuning that we've got to do, you know, offensively and defensively. You know, we've got a new offensive system this year, and we're picking back up on what we were doing defensively from last year. But the main thing we've been focusing on this summer is, you know, the tracks and everything like that, as far as who to go to, who to block, our zones, you know, who we got, things like that. And once we get into fall camp and stuff like that, we'll really do the fine tuning of the how to do it instead of, you know, just where to go and things like that.
Coach, just a general overall question. In today's football, how important is work ethic?
What was that?
In today's football, the way that it is, how important is work ethic?
How important is working out?
Work ethic.
Work ethic, yes. It's critical. I mean, you know, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. You know, that's something, you know, learned a long time ago. I mean, that's a cliche. Everybody says that, but it's legit, you know. And something that, you know, we've kind of lacked, you know, is just the confidence in being able to win a game when we get a chance to, you know. And over the last 2 years, you know, I've lost 19 football games, and these guys have won one of them, okay? So, I mean, I take all the responsibility for all the losses, and anything that bad happens, that's on me. I got to do a better job. Anything that good happens, you know, it's just these kids 100%. But their work ethic that they've had for the last 2 years, and this summer could be the third summer going into the since I've been here, you know, it's been, I mean, they've ramped it up. I mean, I've told the kids and the coaches, I said, you can just feel something in the atmosphere. It's a little different. The kids are, you know, they're bouncing around more. They're more excited. They're more talkative, and you can see a little different pep in their step when doing conditioning, working out. They're attacking the weight room on a daily basis. And the new facility we've got, we hosted a weight meet back in the spring, and you know, we won that as a team based off of our point system, the way we had done it. And ever since that day, man, it's just been they've just stepped it up. It was awesome. I mean, they've been excited about it, and everything they do, they're wanting to come. I've got kids that come up to the field early and start, you know, doing some practice on their own before anybody else gets there. Some of them ask about staying late. You know, see, they ask the coaches, hey, can we come in, you know, on Friday? It's not even a scheduled time for us to do something, and they'll show up and want to work on football stuff, you know. So I think we got a good thing going for us here if we can stay healthy.
Well, Coach, I know you brought a couple other guys with you. Would you mind bringing them up and introducing them?
Yeah, come on in here. This is juniors Heath Miller and Kobe Christmas. You know, these guys, these are some more that every time the doors are open, they're here. You know, I don't have to look for them when it comes time to call roll. I know they're going to be there, and I know what I can expect from them when they get here. They're going to be great leaders. They already are. Really excited to have them.
Yes, sir. Well, I want to thank you all for coming to join us here at Los Reyes. We really appreciate it, and we are excited to see what you guys do this season.
Yeah, I just need to say a couple more things, if that's all right, if we got time for it.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
You know, we're blessed. One of the things that we're wanting to do this year is to make sure that we keep God first in everything that we do. the way that we approach our workouts, the way that we approach our conditioning, practice, games, everything. I've told the guys that, you know, whatever we do, we got to give the glory to God and do things in a way that He would be proud of and pleased about. So, you know, we've really emphasized that, and the guys have bought into it, and I think that that's going to really help us going forward.
Yes, sir. And that excellent. Well said. Thank you, sir. Well, all right, guys. Thank you all for joining us today. Good luck on the season this year, and we're excited to see what you guys do on the field.
All right, thanks. I got a guy working back at the school on the field. I got to get over there and make sure he ain't laid up with his feet propped up in the air conditioner somewhere.
or out on the field from heat exhaustion either. All right, y'all have a good one. Thank you for joining us. We'll be right back after this break on WJLX 101.5. Game day, media days, here live at Los Reyes, and we just had the pleasure of talking to Coach Jace Cordell, and no, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. We are so many.
It's been a long day.
They are all running together, and it has just been an excellent day here at Walker County Media Days. We have learned so much about all these teams, so much to be excited for this coming season. We have one more left with Jasper High School that we'll be getting to in just a moment. But let's recap what we just learned about those guys and those the players that he brought in. I mean, just some great-looking, buffed-up guys. They were obviously have been putting in the work, and excited to see how they do this year, how they improve.
Yeah, and I think that work's going to pay off. I think you're going to see some development from Curry that we have not seen the past couple of years. It's going to be very interesting to also see how they stay healthy and injury-free. They're obviously, the conditioning is way up, but that's a tough region. We know it's got Dora and Cordova in it. We've also got Fayette County. They're going to really need to stay injury-free, and if they do, boy, the ceiling's the limit.
Well, let's talk about that schedule a little bit. So they open up the year at home against Carbon Hill.
How important is that game? like how important is that game for those two programs at this point in time? That's a huge game to start the year off.
Absolutely. August 21st.
And that was Carbon Hill's only win last year. So
that's right.
So they want that win, and Curry wants some payback.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll be a good one to attend. After that, Curry's going to go on the road to Cold Springs, and followed by back at home for their first region game against Haleyville.
Cold Springs is a 2A team, so Curry could definitely pick up a W. All dependent. They could actually go into the Haleyville game 2-0.
Yeah, I think definitely can. Now, Cold Springs defeated Curry last year, but as we've said, with a lot of our schools this year, Curry's a lot bigger. They're a lot stronger. They've hit the weight room, and I think that may be the difference in that game.
Next 3 games, they're going to go away to Cordova for a region game, back at home for a region game against Hamilton, and then away to play Winston County.
Well, that one against Cordova is pretty self-explanatory. I think we all know what that'll mean, not only for a county but for a region, since it's a region game. But then you take a look, Hamilton is at home. Really good opportunity for a big upset there. Got to watch with Winston County. That's going to be a non-region game coming right in the middle of the season. Coach Caleb Simmons does a great job up there with them, but expect a real tough matchup.
Well, and that's another step down in classification for Curry to be able to play Winston County. So you got to think that's a winnable game looking at it on the schedule.
The next 2 games, we have 2 homecoming games back-to-back. First, on the road, Curry will be Good Hope's homecoming, a region game, before they come back and host Fayette County, a region team, as their homecoming on October 10th.
That is the toughest stretch right there. Starting with Good Hope, we've talked about how improved they've been over the past couple of years, and then you're going to battle Fayette County and Dora. That is a tough 3 stretch.
Absolutely. And to close out the year, at home against Dora, and I assume that will be senior night, and then away, final region game against Fultondale, October 23rd. So they're taking that last week as their bye week there, the Halloween week.
And those last 4 games, those last 4 region games, all those really tough games, that's going to be a tough stretch, I'm afraid, for the Yellow Jackets.
Absolutely. Well, still very exciting stuff for Curry. It's going to be great to see how they fare against some adversity this year. And next, we're going to be talking about the Jasper Vikings. And we have our very own athletic director here from Jasper Vikings, Jonathan Jordan. If you would like to go grab him really quick. And we're going to talk some Jasper Viking football. And we'll go ahead and get started on this schedule. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Take a seat.
Good to see you.
Athletic Director Jonathan Jordan here. Jonathan, how you doing?
I'm great.
Very good.
It's football time.
It is football time. That's right. This is the kickoff of Walker County football, it feels like.
Hey, Nick, you've got to be extra nice
to
Jonathan because he's kind of your boss now, too, right?
Yeah.
That was announced yesterday. Congratulations to
Thank
you for your new position teaching at Jasper.
Yes, so I'm going to be teaching 9th and 10th grade English at Jasper High School. I'm excited to get there and to be helping out with some media work as well.
Director of Athletic Digital.
There we go, yeah. Get me my own title there, so I'm excited and I appreciate that.
We're excited.
Appreciate to have you here. Let's talk a little bit about the schedule coming up,
Yeah.
and then we'll talk about kind of what we can expect from athletics in general. So we'll just go through these 4 at a time. First 4 games, opening up 2 home games, Brookwood, Sipsey Valley, before going on the road for 2 away region games against Decatur and Coleman. Are there any of those 4 that you are specifically excited for?
All of them.
Yeah.
And then, before that, we actually have our Meet the Vikes on the 7th, which we believe will be a good crowd, and we're bringing in Gardendale for the Jamboree. And Gardendale Jasper is always a big crowd, so we're excited about that. So we'll get going before we even get going.
All right.
And then Brookwood will be a good game for us. It'll be the first game of the season that counts. So we think we'll have a great crowd. We got some interesting in-game things ready, so we think that'll be a really fun environment. Sipsey Valley is a good athletic team. Their head coach, Joey Milligan, is a friend of mine. So we're excited to get those 2 games on the schedule, especially at home, and then we'll get on the road. So we'll see how it goes. Opposite of last year. We were on the road a lot last year. We actually had 6 home games, and then with Gardendale coming for the Jamboree, that really we stole an extra gate. So that gives us 7 games. We're excited about it.
And just looking at the schedule here, it's a very healthy mix. There's not a long stretch away or a long stretch at home. So those next 4 games, back at home for the first 2, region game against Athens, then hosting Dora, always an exciting matchup there. Before we go on the road to Muscle Shoals for a region game, and back home for Hartselle for a region game.
Yeah, we're excited about that, about the stretch of schedule there. And we actually, on the 9/26 game hosting Dora, we're going to bring back the first integrated group of athletes. So that's a big deal here in Jasper. It set the tone for the community that we have now. So we're going to honor a group of athletes that hasn't been honored previously, and we're just excited about that opportunity. They mean a lot to our community, that group of athletes that changed Walker and changed Jasper for forever. So we're excited to get to honor them. And then, Columbia, that's homecoming. So that'll be a big game for the kids. And then we'll finish up there at Lawrence County on Halloween night. So y'all bring your mask and scare everybody.
Right. We don't even need a mask.
That's right.
Or some of us
That's
don't. Talk a little bit about the Jamboree, Jonathan. Is that going to be a full-fledged game? What's kind of the take on how that's going to be laid out?
Yeah, I think they'll script that out. They like to kind of keep control of it because they want to see some things.
Right.
They want to see some substitution stuff, get guys on and off the field. I don't know if special teams will be live. They kind of want to just really it's a dress rehearsal.
Right.
And so it'll be a good opportunity for folks to come out and see some young kids and see some kids that they might not have seen in the past. Kind of put some names and faces with some numbers. So we just think it'll be a really good opportunity for us to get our kids out there and get them on the field.
Well, I think us at WJLX are planning on using that as an opportunity for us to have a dress rehearsal as well, with the changes that we've had, and it'll be my first time to start the season off as the voice of the Vikings with Woody Wilson, and I'm absolutely honored to be able to do that this year, to kind of follow in Johnny and Brett Elmore's footsteps. It's going to be the first time in a long time that an Elmore is not calling Jasper football games, and for me to be able to be the person to take that over, it really, really has a special place in my heart.
Yeah, and I'm going to say something there about Johnny and Brett and the job that they did and what this meant to them and our community. My parents live off in Dothan, and they tune into the game every week, and they listen to, Johnny and Woody and Brett and that crew, and it just means a lot to have that and to have people that care enough to broadcast your event, and then obviously to have sponsors that are invested enough to be able to put the broadcast on. So that means a lot. What they did for years and years and years without a lot of recognition means a lot. And we can't say enough about what Jonathan has done with the network now and how he's taken over. And, within days of him taking over, we had already met about what we were going to do and how we could be a part of the station and, how we could continue to bring a quality product to our community and really highlight what our student athletes do on a daily basis. And we can't thank Jonathan enough and you guys enough for continuing to bring that broadcast on. We're excited.
We should say, too, you can't see it, he's just off camera, but Jonathan did not just take over the station and start delegating. He does so much himself. He is over there working the computer, working sound, keeping the cameras going. He's on top of it, and yeah, we can't be more appreciative of all the work he's done today. Last question for you. We talked a lot about football. Can you just talk a little bit about just the state of athletics and what you see for Viking athletics this year?
Yeah, man, we're in great shape. The past 2 years we won 5 state championships and 3 runners-up. So we're healthy right now. Men's and women's athletics both are in great spots. Our head coaches are as good as anybody in Alabama. That when we have an opening for a head coaching position at Jasper, we don't necessarily just take what comes. We go find who we want that's a good fit. We go people over everything. I feel like if we get the right people on the bus, it's got to go in the right direction. So that's kind of the philosophy that we've taken. I think fall sports, cross country, competed in the postseason last year. Swam for state championships. Last year we had several students swimming that. Sailor Painter's a big-time swimmer that you guys will hear a lot about this year. He's got a chance to be an all-state type kid. We move into the winter, basketball, wrestling, Coach Burns has done a fantastic job with basketball. We've really done a good job of making each basketball game an event. With the Black Tie Club and the seats all around the floor. Our motto is make it a circus, and if we're going to do a circus, we might as well do a big top. So we try to do that, and so people come. They don't want to miss the show. So Coach Burns does a fantastic job with that. He's a circus in and of himself. So
Yeah, that's
every
true.
every time's a fun time with Heath Burns. Blake Laney's a state championship coach. We return a pretty good team this year with some veterans that we're excited about. Trip Otis, all he's done is get better and better. He's won, a state championship, a couple of state runners-up. He's won a state duals championship. His assistant coach, Hezzy Morgan, is probably the best assistant coach in the country. So we feel excited about the winter sports. Indoor track is really good. We have some great athletes competing in that. And then obviously when you move into spring, we have Coach Ware that coaches baseball. They play hard-nosed. They play as tough a schedule as anybody. Matter of fact, they played, I think, 2 guys that will be first-round picks coming up from Hewitt-Trussville. So they're excited to watch. We're kind of rebuilding a softball staff, and we're excited about what they've done. We move into kind of golf and track and all that, and we're successful in all that. So we're excited about the year. This is the time.
JJ, don't forget that soccer program now. They're on the rise, too.
Coach Gunnar Wisdom does a fantastic job. We just missed out on the playoffs, like 5 All-State. So we feel really good about that and the work that they've done. And he'll actually be doing the men's and women's team this year. So we expect good things out of them. We're actually just able to take a beat and get breaths in, for the last month. But now it's foot to gas, and we'll be rolling till the end of May.
All right, exciting things happen there at Jasper, and somebody shouted out tennis as well.
Yeah, that's actually our new principal there. We'd like to give Coach Patrick Darwin a new shout-out. He's the new principal at Jasper High School. Couldn't be more excited to work for anybody and work alongside anybody in the entire world. He and I are really good friends, and he does a fantastic job managing people. And if you ever want to know anything about high reliability schools and Bob Marzano, that's your guy.
That's the guy.
But more than anything, he's a high reliable person. So we're excited to have him as principal at Jasper High School.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us today, talking a little bit about Viking athletics. A lot of exciting things on the horizon. We come back. We're going to talk to the Jasper Viking football team right here on Walker County Media Days, WJLX 1015, live from Los Reyes. Welcome back to Walker County Football Media Day here on WJLX 1015, live from Los Reyes. And we are happy to welcome the Jasper Vikings, which we are going to introduce starting with head coach David Reeves. Coach, can you introduce the players you brought with you today?
Starting on the far side down there, we've got Mekhi Pledger, Brody Garrett, Jackson Bijou, and Mike Maddox.
Thank you all.
4 seniors.
Thank you all for joining us here at Los Reyes. We're now going to open it up to some questions from our panel.
Coach, it's good to see you and your players. You know, from year 1 to year 2, we saw much improvement, and there's a lot of hype, a lot of excitement going into this year. Talk about who's going to be on your coaching staff this year, because behind every good coach, there's a great staff that helps put that vision in play.
Yeah, the staff is phenomenal. They're better now after being together a year. On the top, it's going to be the same thing. You know, Jake Houghton will be our offense coordinator. Dusty Good will be our defense coordinator. Shane Smothers will be our special teams coordinator. You know, and moving around the office, you know, guys that are back, and I have to walk around the office or I'll definitely forget somebody, and that they all do such a great job. I hate to do that, but you know, Coach Prothrow, Tyrone will be back working with the receivers again. Coach Stacks will be back. He's kind of a jack of all trades, you know, just mixes in wherever we need him to. Sage Harding will be working with the secondary. Josh Walls will be back working with the running backs. And all these guys coach multiple things. I'm just giving you their primary thing. Coach Eric Oliver, Coach Doug Mercer will be back again. We're adding a Jasper native, and Ced Wilder will be back helping us. And there's a couple of more on the fence that you might look on the sideline and see them out there too. So we're happy everybody's back intact and working really hard and knows each other and the players so much better now. And then, you know, like I said, the for sure addition of Cedric Wilder, and then, like I said, there's a couple of more guys on the outskirts that might be in with us also.
All right, so for the players here.
Oh, yeah, we got it. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm sorry. Man, thanks to my AD. Brand new with us, only a few weeks, our offensive line coach Matchin. Boy, we're fortunate to have him. So I kind of blended him in because we hadn't really given him an office yet. When I went around office to office, but as far as making an immediate impact, he's done a phenomenal job.
That's great. And for the players, you know, it's getting close. You've got the big matchup with Gardendale to be kind of like that little jamboree game. How's the excitement? What's the hype? Is everybody kind of like excited to be able to get in there and to be able to hit somebody? You know, tell us about what your feelings.
I'm feeling like I'm excited. I'm excited to get on the field with my boys. This is my last year, so I'm just gonna put it all on the field with my boys here, and that's back at the house watching, if they're watching or not, though. But yeah, I'm just ready to play.
Our team really has an excitement about them. Like, they're all out there working their butts off. Like, they're really ready. We really want to make a statement, so we're just giving it everything we got.
Yes, sir. We are ready to play on and off the field. We've been putting in some work.
And we work hard for this, so we're trying to prove something for ourselves and our community. We just thank y'all.
So I've had a lot of you guys in the classroom, and it's been great to be able to watch you guys grow up and to be great young men. What are some lessons that you guys have learned from your coaches and stuff that you're applying to your life away from football and also in the classroom?
How great the weight room is. That's what they love. Just kidding.
I could just say they just teach me wrong from right sometimes. Sometimes I do bad things, but even if I do bad things, I still got to keep my head up, just keep moving forward.
One of the things I really love about Jasper is the spiritual leaders we have in our on our football program. Like, our coaches are very well. Like, they're very heavy on trying to teach us how to be young men and helping us grow on and off the field. So I'm really thankful for that.
Don't let small things mess up what you got going on.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Brody. They teach us how to be young men, and do make mistakes, yeah, but grow from that and get better the next day.
Coach, I know last season it was obviously step forward, and so you want to take another step forward this season. You had a huge win over Muscle Shoals. You had a game to get away like that Coleman game. What's the expectations coming into this season for you and for the guys?
Well, you know, we're just trying to be the best version of ourselves and of Jasper High School and of this community as we can be. And we know as long as we stay focused on being the best version of us, everything else will take care of itself. If we went out every week and you know, put it all on the line, then we can look up at the scoreboard and handle whatever's up there. So we're just all striving every day to be the best version. That's coaches, players, support, staff. That's everybody in it. If we can just be the best version of ourselves, then we feel like everything else will work out.
Guys, you guys talk about, you know, you're going to have a huge crowd at each game. People come to support the Vikings. What will they see out of this team this year?
They will see a more respectful team, a more leadership team this year than what we was last year and the years before, because we have learned from our mistakes.
They will definitely see a hungry team that's ready to go out there and compete with everybody. We're not scared of anybody, and we want to look up and be happy what's up with what's on the scoreboard.
Same thing Brody said.
Guys, with the absolute hardship of the 3-3 finish in the region last year, you guys did not make the playoffs. How motivating has that been this year to say, we had unfinished business last year that we should have been in the postseason. It's time for us to earn it.
Just make us work harder. I mean, it's just right through our fingers, so just push us to be better next time.
We felt like we were definitely we had the talent, we had the grit, we had everything to be a playoff team, so we will definitely be working our butts off to try to get there this year.
Coach, I've just got to ask you this much. What's been the biggest difference that you're seeing with your team from day one through last year to now?
You know, it's been really fun for me because the majority of our team is still the same team that it was 3 years ago or 3 seasons ago when we started this. So being able to watch these guys grow and mature, accept, you know, hold each other accountable, accept a little discipline, stuff like that. And that just comes with age and experience. These guys, you know, as well as the other seniors, you know, I wish we could set everybody we had up here, but they're doing such a great job at setting an example for the younger guys to see and holding the younger guys to a level of accountability. You know, when we started this thing, we had 8 seniors, and so it was tough for all these guys when they were all babies then to have somebody to look up and show them the way and show them the right way, how to get in and out of tough spots on the field, how to work. You know, the fact that your job doesn't change regardless of what happens on a Friday night. And so that's what makes me the proudest of these guys, along with the guys that can't be setting up here, is the example that they're setting every day when they come to work.
Absolutely. Coach, I got to come by and see that weight room that you put so much work into building, and it's beautiful. I mean, near NFL grade. And I saw y'all working in there too, putting in some work. How have you seen your guys progress over this offseason, strength-wise and conditioning-wise, and how do you think that's going to transfer to the field?
You know, I'll tell you, the weight room is phenomenal, and thanks to, you know, all the help from the people in the community and from JJ and his leadership on that, and our new principal, Coach Darwin, and all they put into that. But really, to me, what makes that weight room special is when I look and see how these guys are getting after it in there. I mean, we could be doing it out on the field, We could be doing it in a closet somewhere as long as these guys are putting in the work. You might ask them about the weight room. They all love. God, out there, that'd be a good question to ask them.
How has it helped you guys build your strength? Have you noticed having that better equipment translate to better results?
Our team as a whole, we're getting way stronger than what we were 3 seasons ago. I mean, just overall team, bigger, stronger, faster, a lot better this year.
We've had a lot of players just increase a lot in the weight, like whether it was depth that they couldn't get or weight that they couldn't put on. Just, they're moving a lot of weight. Like Keith Parker has definitely improved a lot. He's one that stands out a lot to me, just because he went from not being able to bend a lot to now his butt's touching the ground with a ton of weight on the bar. So it's really cool to see.
Yeah, I got to come out there. Y'all were getting after it the other day. It was some good work being put in. You guys are now seniors, probably starting to feel a little bit of the pressure. Final season coming up. How are you guys able to kind of hold each other accountable as leaders, and how have you seen yourselves kind of progress and grow in that leadership position?
I say, like, we all just work together and we don't let each other down. Like, if we make a mistake, we pick each other back up. We don't let people just walk around the field and more stuff like that.
I feel like we've all taken huge steps in leadership roles, and like we all hold each other accountable, and we do a really good job making sure everybody's head chins up, and we're always worried about the next play, not the last one.
We got a lot of leaders speak positivity into everybody else, so
Try to take a step take a step day by day. I mean, it's a process, so each other accountable and better the next day.
Coach, I know these guys are taking it day by day. You are too. What are a few things you think maybe we need to clean up for week one right around the corner?
You know, we need to maintain our focus. You know, a lot of times when you're down a little bit and then you experience a little bit of success, then it's real easy to forget about the things that brought you that little small taste of success. And so we're trying to stay grounded and focused on the work that it takes to get there. Be detail-oriented in everything we do, whether it's on the weight room or in the field or in a classroom across the street. You know, all these guys have done a good job. The players that, you know, obviously we got 4 guys representing, 60 guys here. I wish all 60 of them could be here with us. But, as long as we stay focused on the small details, and again, like we said earlier, stay focused on being the best version of us and this team and of Jasper as a community and Jasper as a high school, then everything else will take care of itself.
Guys, biggest influences in your life, positive, and that's been positive for you?
God, my coaches, my mom.
Definitely my father. He's definitely helped me grow a lot, whether it's spiritually or athletically. He's definitely pushed me past my limits times and really helped me be who I am today.
My dad and Coach Harden.
Jesus has helped me through a lot, so I try to live my life for him and by him, yeah.
And probably our biggest question, Coach, now with the way that NIL is beginning to seep into high school football, we're probably going to see it at the 7 and 6A. How much more are you looking for guys with big work ethics who are dedicated and want to give it all?
Yeah, and being on the front end of that and seeing that, we never let that dictate, who we were. If you've got the right kind of message and you've got the right kind of team bond and you're doing the right things, then that'll have a place and it'll fit in, and as it comes, we'll adjust and be a part of that. But, I hope it stays away as long as it can. The purity of the game is what I like, and the guys that come out there, as little wormy ninth graders that they can't do anything and grow and develop and wind up being super young men and sticking with it and contributing to our team. I really think that's what high school athletics is about. But, when it happens, we'll adjust. I know We've got a bunch of cutting-edge people that are way smarter than me, that are already on the front end of curves like that might be coming our way. So I just, show up and try and be the best version of me as a head football coach as I can be.
Yes, sir. And last question for you. Ignoring wins and losses, what would make this season a success?
For all these guys to really, really, really be the best version of themselves they can be, for them to continue to mature into the young men that we all know that we can be, because we know that we're doing enough stuff at Jasper High School that regardless what happens on the field, if it takes root, then they're going to be able to walk out into the world, whichever endeavors they choose, and make a positive impact.
Well, thank you guys for joining us here for Walker County Media Days at Los Reyes. We really appreciate it, and we're excited to see how the season goes for the Vikings.
Thanks for having us. Go Vikes.
Go Vikes. Best of luck this season, guys. Thank you for joining us, and thank you all for watching us here on WJLX 101.5, whether on our Facebook or YouTube stream. And for those who joined us here at Los Reyes, we appreciate you. And another year, another success, and we had a great time with all of you. We appreciate you all coming here, and please stay tuned to hear more from the rest of our station as we wrap it up here from Los Reyes, WJLX 101.5.